Greetings, galactic citizens, Jam and Jedi here with another pointless creation. This time I'm customizing these 6 pint glasses. I'll be customizing these 5 pint glasses with some glass etching cream from Folk Art. There's a few choices out there. I use this one for no particular reason, so let's get started. We begin by grabbing some measurements for a template we'll be creating in the next step. Off to the main computer. There's a really neat site called Templatemaker.nl, packed with all sorts of customizable shapes and box patterns. I'll be using the truncated cone for this. The measurements are in millimeters, so now I'll just fill out the dimensions. Zero out the margins and flaps. Then choose my desired output file and hit create. Now I've got a perfect template I can bring into Illustrator, where I prefer to do all my design work. The template's ready to go, so I'll just import an image of myself, convert to a vector, and add a couple more elements to the template. After creating a couple more graphics, we'll send them directly to the print droid. Finally, after printing the rest, we can move on to weeding. Very difficult with a helmet on, by the way. Now we can apply the transfer paper. Next, I have to find the center line of the glass, which is challenging because I'm not sure how to go about it. I figured maybe I could balance something in the lowest part, like these ball bearings, for example. After shaking them around a bit, they settled to the bottom and I can now mark them. Lego heads also worked in a pinch. These almonds were a little more difficult to wrangle.
Delicious.
I tooled around for a while trying to find that center line before remembering I have the entire empire at my disposal. So, off to the shop. Before I apply my graphic, I'm going to cut it into smaller parts. This will make it easier to recenter anything on the other side of the glass if I need to. A quick clean, and now I can apply the vinyl aligning to my center marks. I've finished transferring the graphics and masked off any exposed glass as to avoid contact with the etching cream. Speaking of which, I've also swapped my standard issue gloves with something I can trash, because it's chemical time. This particular etching compound is incredibly viscous, so I found it best to use a craft stick for scooping and spreading. I've also sliced the top off for easier access. Now, to just scoop a gloop and apply. Trying my best not to scrape against the glass so I don't peel away any vinyl. Even though it's taken me a few minutes to apply the cream, I'm going to let it sit undisturbed for another 5 to 6 minutes. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes, and now I'm just spreading the cream around again, hopefully pushing out any air bubbles that might have been trapped. I'll let it sit for another 5 before removal. It really doesn't hurt to repeat this step a few more times. Washing it is pretty straightforward. I'm trying to rinse away as much etching cream as possible before separating any vinyl. Mostly clean, the vinyl comes off fairly smooth. A toothpick helps with some of the more cumbersome pieces. One more rinse, and we're ready to dry. And here are the final results. I've added a graphic on the bottom, which I've found to be an enjoyable reveal while finishing a pint. I might also try some funny phrases or words of encouragement in the future. Just to show you not everything has to be Star Wars, here's a treat jar I made for my dog. With a little bit of Star Wars hidden on the bottom. Of course, we can't design a Star Wars-themed drinking apparatus without including the obligatory blue milk scene. So, cheers, and thanks for watching! Nope.